Okay, it is week 3, day 2. I'm going to make a slight adjustment to lunch, and this, I'll show you what I did. So instead of putting my carbs or my veggies in my breakfast omelet, I'm going to have them for lunch. So this is just a 3-egg white omelet with 1 whole egg, and then I added an ounce of cheese, and I cooked both the omelet and the Canadian bacon in a 1/2 tablespoon of butter total. And then by just switching around where I have the carbs, it just makes it flexible for what I'm feeling that day. And today I wanted to have a slight change in my lunch. So there's the finished product, my just plain cheese omelet with 2 slices of Canadian bacon. And because I did not have carbs for breakfast, I threw them in for lunch, and I'm doing broccoli on the side. So that is 6 ounces of turkey breast with 1 ounce of cheese, ranch dressing, and 2 cups of broccoli. And because I didn't have cottage cheese on hand, we're going to go ahead and use Greek yogurt. Just make sure it is sugar-free and another great source of protein. So I'm making chicken parmesan casserole. Traditional chicken parmesan casserole has like breadcrumbs and such in the chicken. And I'm not doing that. Obviously, we're doing a low-carb version. So I'm just seasoning up 2 pounds of chicken breast with garlic powder, salt, pepper, and Italian seasoning. And because I'm a good Italian, I have to always add a splash of Marsala wine. That's completely optional. And as my quote-unquote noodles, we're going to go ahead and add cauliflower florets. And I believe that bag was 14 ounces, and it was frozen. So I put the cover on, let that come together, and then added a cup of sugar-free sauce, or no sugar added sauce. And because I'm way low in grocery shopping, I was super low on my cheese, so that should have been more, but that was a 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese, and I thought I had a whole bag of mozzarella, which I didn't. So another 1/4 cup of mozzarella. So I was like, oh no, where is all my cheese? So I'm going to make another change on the fly and mix that together so everything's melted. Put it in a 13x9 casserole, and then instead of using 2 cups of mozzarella, I used my provolone. So this was just another change, and you can have provolone with chicken parm. So I placed 4 slices in there, and that's literally all I had. Baked it in the oven until it was nice and bubbly and the cheese was melted, and it turned out to be an awesome mistake. It tasted fabulous, and because the ratio of cheese to chicken was way off, the macros were awesome. So this was a super high protein, very low carb, the easy keto dinner. Okay, so let's talk macros. Now, today kind of got a little crazy because what I thought I had in my pantry and refrigerator did not match up what I actually had. So anyways, I was surprisingly over in protein, which makes me super happy because I'm never upset about doing that, because the more protein, the better, in my opinion. I was way under in fat, and that is largely due to the fact that the cheese I planned on having in my casserole was supposed to be a lot more mozzarella, which was a higher fat cheese. So we'll talk about that in a minute. And because of that meant my calories were down too. But the carbs, can't complain, 6 grams of net carbs over. So I cooked breakfast up in a 1/2 tablespoon total of butter. I did 3 egg whites and 1 whole egg. And then as my omelet base, and I put 1.5 ounces, or it was 2 slices, but by weight it was 1.5 ounces of American cheese, and then the Canadian bacon. So breakfast was great. Had I known that I was low on cheese, mozzarella cheese, I would have just done whole eggs, not the egg whites. But lesson learned. But just keep in mind that's how you could easily make up some fat without even knowing about it. So the next thing is lunch. I did 1 ounce of American cheese, 6 ounces of boar's head turkey, and I did 1 cup of broccoli and 2 tablespoons of ranch dressing to dip that broccoli in. And then I had my Greek yogurt. That 1 cup was 20 grams of protein and 140 calories. So that was a great lunch. That held me over for quite a bit. And then I made my low carb, high fat chicken parmesan casserole that didn't turn into high fat. I ended up having 1.5 servings, but looking at what I had, I did 2 pounds of chicken breast, 4 tablespoons, or a little over 1/4 cup of grated mozzarella cheese. The intention was 2 cups of mozzarella cheese. It ended up being 1/4 cup. I cooked the chicken in butter, 1 tablespoon total. I did a 14-ounce bag of broccoli florets, and then it was 4 slices of provolone cheese, which was I improvised there. And then a cup of sugar-free or no sugar added to, pasta sauce. So, the macros would have been different. So I was planning on, that all fitting up perfectly. So I ended up having 1.5 servings of that casserole. It made 6 total servings. So this was with the macros for it. And in the future, I probably would make this way again. I would just add a little bit more Parmesan because it was a win without trying. So anyways, it was super filling. So that made my macros be slightly off. I was expecting a lot more hunger, but I think there was like 66 grams or something. 66 grams of protein in that lunch. So I'm sorry, the dinner. So I was pretty full, and I honestly couldn't get any more in to try and make up the loss in my calories. But you know what? It is what it is. It's not perfect, and you do your best. So I was overall happy with this. But in the future, I should have checked and saw what I had in my pantry, and then I could have easily just fixed that fat deficit, if you will, by doing whole eggs instead of the egg white thing. So lesson learned, and I'm off to go grocery shopping.